of X Games Osaka continues as we come to you live from the Kyocera Dome here in Osaka, Japan. And it's now time for Women's Skateboard Street. What's happening, world? Brandon Graham and the legend Amelia Brodka here. And Amelia, how lucky are we to bear witness to the technical and creative wizardry that is Chloe Cavell here in Women's Street?
Chloe is just coming off of 2 back-to-back wins, both at Street League and the World Skate event in Rome. You know, but this is still a stacked field and a lot of Japanese skaters who are going to want that gold in their home country.
Yeah, a look at our lineup here today. Interesting format we've got in place, anchored by there you see Chloe Cavell. We've got 8 skateboarders here, and we begin in the playoffs, and we move on to a final immediately after that. But as you see, Chloe Cavell has just been so dominant, and it's hard to picture one woman taking on a country, but to your point earlier, that's what it feels like, Chloe versus Japan.
That's right. I mean, you just saw Momiji Nishia on the screen. She is a gold medalist, Olympic gold medalist, and released some video parts in the meantime, as well as Miyu Ito, who already has numerous X Games medals. So it's not going to be an easy one for Chloe, but she is feeling confident.
So there's a look at our street course and a look at our format. We begin in the playoffs. We've got 8 skaters, the best of 2 45-second runs, and the top 4 will advance to the final. And in that final, just 4 skaters and the best of 2 runs, those 45 seconds, as you see. Max score of 100, and then we will be handing out some hardware. Your first impressions of this street course here in Osaka?
It is so exciting just to see what California Skate Parks does with their courses, and this is such a great depiction of the local culture here with the whole river and the boat, and it's very linear, which is something that we've not seen in recent X Games, but that allows more of a trick barrage by the skaters.
The fans have invaded the Kyocera Dome. As you saw our roster there, 6 of the 8 skateboarders in our playoff field come from Japan. So a heavy, heavy fan base for so many of the skaters in this field. And we kick things off with the 13-year-old Ibuki Matsumoto, who made her X Games debut in Ventura last year.
I am such a fan of Ibuki. Her style is something to be really appreciated. I mean, how relaxed she looked at that kickflip front board, the way that her arms are just down by her side. I mean, it's like, it makes me think of Tom Penny. It's just beautiful to watch, very fluid.
Great reference. Yeah, this just does nothing about her style and her level of confidence on this course screams 13-year-old Amelia.
And she's so tall. She's so much taller than everybody else. It is kind of surprising that she is so young, but yeah, her style is definitely just poetic with a kickflip back flip at the end. Wow, that would have been a great run. She'll have one more crack at it. You know, it's a tough format. Well, you know, do you put down something that's safe, knowing you'll have only one other opportunity, or do you basically put down what you think might be a medal contender, because you have to get in the top 4?
That was such a sick run. That would have been a banger ender for Ibuki. And it should be noted, Amelia, a win for her. She's got to get in that final first, 69.66. But if she were to win at age 13 years, 4 months, it would make her the youngest women's skateboard street gold medalist ever by just a month. Chloe holds that record when she won it 13 years, 5 months in 2023. So Funa Nakayama first hit the X Games stage in Minneapolis in 2019. Has a silver medal she earned in street in Chiba back in 2022.
Oh, uncharacteristic first fall. She was going for her signature front crook there on the sign. You know, she actually did that trick down the Hollywood High stair set, and she did it first try, and she got the cover of Thrasher. So the fact that she missed it right out of the gate, I'm sure it'll come easily to her in her next run. She just got second, actually, to Chloe last week at the World Skate Rome competition. So she is putting the rest of her run together pretty well. Ending it with a front feeble. Oh, she just stuck on the landing. And so it looks like that rail is pretty steep at the end there. So you have to be ready to roll away when you come off. You kind of have to reset your body because of how steep the rail is.
So that'll do it for Funa's first run, a score of 50.66. So she will look to clean things up on her second run to get into that top 4 for the final. So we move on to Momiji Nishia, 17 years old and a hometown girl. She is from Osaka, Japan.
Oh, starting off with a switch board slide. Definitely cool to see someone starting in their non-dominant stance, especially in this field, gapping up to that China bank with the 5-0 in. Going up on the boat, cruising through. Man, this course is so well designed. Loving the back 50. She's gonna go all the way across.
Oh,
wow.
Come on. A gold medal in 2022. She's only missed the podium once in her 5 street starts at X Games.
She looks so relaxed. I just love that about the way that she skates. Nice frontside tail slide, landing a fakie. There we go, our first full pull, and my goodness, it was a great one. Momiji Nishia looks like she is not at all nervous about performing in front of her home crowd.
Timed the run perfectly, and such a unique line, Amelia.
Yeah, starting with the switchboard slide, riding away regular, and then putting the front board at the end. Nice tail slide. Yeah, definitely a great run. And I know that there are plenty of room. There's plenty of room for upgrades in the next run.
Yeah, so as you see, a solid run for her, 71. And to your earlier point, do you go for broke or can you afford to play it safe? We saw in women's vert a little earlier, those who did play it safe in the playoff tended to fare better and get a chance into the final. We'll see if Paige Hine out of Tempe, Arizona, the lone American in this field at 17 years old, follows suit.
Responding to Momiji there with a switch board slide. Out of this field, she's the one that typically does switch tricks the most. She's been known to do that. Switch front board also down some stair sets. So we will see if she puts that in here. Oh, taking a different route, alling off the side and then kick flipping into the bank. Such a unique feature in the center.
Paige still in search of that first X Games medal. How does she end it?
With the switch front board, the one I just mentioned a few seconds ago. I love seeing her do that because she does it so well. And to put it at the end of your run where it matters the most, she is a strategic competitor, that's for sure. They're going switch with the board slide. You know, she comes from the KTR camp, so, you know, Jagger Eaton came out of there as well, and I feel like when they start skating there, they immediately teach them to skate switch just so that it's easier.
Wow, a 75.33 for Paige, putting her up into the top spot. She's got to look back up at the screen to believe it, Amelia.
Yeah, really exciting to see how she'll upgrade that in her next run, and if that score is just good enough for the finals.
Yumeka Oda, owner of 3 X Games medals. Whoa!
Wow, starting with a kickflip front board right out the gate. Oh, no. It looked like she was going for an overcrook and just missed it and slipped over the rail. Kick flipping off there. Yumeka's been known to throw down some of the most technical tricks in the field. She earned street best trick with a kickflip front feeble down a 10 stair last year. So that goes to show you why the kickflip front board is just that easy for her, because the kickflip front feeble is a step up above that.
Yeah, that 10 stair last year in Ventura was no joke. And earning gold was a really special moment for Yumeka. Unfortunately, a throwaway for the 18-year-old, putting a lot of pressure on herself for run number 2. But we know in this field, Amelia, she is one of the few that certainly has the tricks to contend for a podium.
She
So that puts her in the
definitely,
4th.
yeah, she definitely has a great trick selection, but that's the thing. When you only have 2 runs to make it into the finals, you gotta be really confident in each and every one of those tricks.
Koko Yoshizawa, 15 years old, made her X Games debut in Japan last year in this event, just missed the podium, finishing in 4th.
Wow, also starting with the kickflip front board. You know, she kind of exploded onto the scene, didn't really have very many podiums or really any golds until the Olympics, where she just shocked everybody and won in Paris 2024. But clearly a really skilled competitor, putting together a very solid run here. Gapping out to the back Smith. That was a sick run. All right, but can she finish it? Big spin front board. Wow, so apparently she saw Momiji do a big spin front board at the Tokyo Olympics, and she realized, oh, I might be good at skateboarding too, because I can do that trick. And yeah.
I love it when that happens,
right?
Especially when you're 14 years old, and as you said, winning Olympic gold seemingly out of nowhere at the 2024 Paris Olympics Games. But then you watch a run like this and you go, oh, yeah, I get it.
I mean, to put this run down, knowing that you only have 2 cracks at it, I mean, this could be a podium level run, but she might have to repeat it if so.
An 84.66 for Koko, putting her up into 1st place. Miyu Ito, 18 years old, 3 X Games medals, including a gold that she has earned in street, as well as a silver and a silver in street best trick in just 2 X Games appearances. Miyu has made her presence felt very quickly here at X Games, Amelia.
Definitely starting strong. It's fun to see how people use this feature. You know, we've seen a lot of ollies on, kickflips off so far. I loved seeing the long grind on there earlier. Nice back Smith. And using the quarter pipe, putting the blunt in there. And the hard flip. She has got an amazing hard flip. Apparently the first time she ever skated in the proper streets, she was filming for a primitive part, and she put down a hard flip on a 12 stair. First time skating in the streets. But
Hard
that
flip,
was a great run as well.
All the things you just said, hard flip, 12 stair, primitive team. Say no more.
Exactly.
She's got the goods, Miyu Ito. Yeah, I think if there was a Rookie of the Year award to give in this discipline last year, it absolutely would have gone to Miyu. Picking up where she left off last summer.
Nice front feeble starting her run. And then popping this kickflip, catching it beautifully into the bank.
Her street win in Ventura last year made her the first rookie gold medalist in the 20-year history of X Games women's skateboard street. So already a history maker. And that 81.66, good enough for second place here in the playoff. So we turn our attention now to the 15-year-old Aussie, owner of 5 X Games medals. She has won this event twice before, and she is on a dominant run, the likes of which we haven't seen in some time in this discipline, Amelia.
Yeah, if we're talking about X Games League draft picks, I'm picking Chloe, because she's an incredible skateboarder.
She's a first-round pick for sure.
Beautiful backsmith down the handrail, thrown in the heel flip for good measure.
And Amelia, for the uninitiated, what is it about Chloe's skating, especially now in the last year or so? Oh my God, can she?
What?
No.
That was amazing. Okay, to put a manual trick, especially a flip into manual, in the middle of your run, that is so risky, but she's still going and throwing the kickflip front board.
That actually happened, right?
Yes, and she's still going.
She actually answered, she actually made the
to
question I was asking you rhetorical because her skating spoke for it. But I just wanted to say, for the uninitiated that have maybe never seen Chloe skate before, what is it that makes her so spectacular on any course in this discipline?
Oh, wow. Well, her style, for one. I mean, you saw the way that she did that backsmith. And then this manual. You know, sometimes, especially if you're skating a contest, maybe you'll like tap your tail a little bit, do a little skid, but no, that was just a perfectly held manual, and the kickflip front, just everything she does, like, I don't think she could skate sketchy even if she tried.
90, Club 90, stand up, Chloe Cavell taking over first place here in the playoffs. Oh my. And the 7 other skaters here in the street field have been put on notice by Chloe Cavell. My goodness, we're halfway through our playoffs here at X Games Osaka. Who is catching Chloe Cavell?
X Games is the place to be.
Welcome to the party.
Oh my goodness, Colby Raha. Oh, we've broken the record.
Arissa Tripp. The game done changed.
Kevin Peraza. The flare whip. Is he getting it? He touched it. Hannah Roberts, the first ever women's BMX Park X Games gold.
Is Nigel Houston about to make history?
Unbelievable.
The answer is yes.
Shout out X Games. We love y'all.
Less than 1 week from X Games Salt Lake City 2025, but right now we come to you from day 1 of X Games Osaka 2025. We're 1 run in here in the women's skateboard street playoffs, and Chloe Cavell came correct. Amelia, I don't know who she's texting right now, but it's probably saying, yeah, I'm in first place.
What a way to celebrate Go Skateboarding Day, you know? We get to just watch this incredible field of skaters on this beautiful course designed by California Skate Parks that is representative of Osaka.
Yes, Go Skateboard Day. Congratulations to all those who observe. Ibuki Matsumoto currently sitting in 6th. This is the second and final run here in the playoffs. Just the top 4 will be moving on to the final. This format is absolutely cutthroat, Amelia.
I want to see Ibuki make a run because I just love the way that she skates. Just such great style, effortless kickflip front board.
Remember, she put it together until her final trick. She was unable to skate away. If she can do it, she absolutely can break into the top 4. She is the youngest skateboarder in this entire field at 13 years old.
I love the way she threw in a blunt fakie on the quarter pipe. I feel like, you know, sometimes skaters don't use the quarter pipes as much, but you really stand out if you do something interesting on them.
Head judge Jason Rothmeyer will absolutely take notice.
Oh, getting the kickflip
there she
back
goes.
lip this time.
There she
Putting it
goes.
together. And
Yes.
the kickflip fakie for good measure.
Oh, that's got to feel good for her.
She looks just as relaxed as when she started that run, honestly.
You know, a slight bobble on that run, but other than that, it was just technically sound. Redemption on closing it out.
And closing it with a kickflip back
Yes.
lip down that rail. And it's so steep, you know, you gotta really wind your way out of it.
A 77 for Ibuki, so that does jump her up into the top 4. Fourth
Not
spot
safe,
is the
though.
bubble spot, exactly. She's still got a lot of time to wait because there are some very talented skaters who could bump her out. Including this young lady, Funa Nakayama, sitting in 8th place in need of that full pool.
Oh, there we go. Going front nose grind, I believe, this time. And then getting the half cab heel. Olling into that China bank. Nice front side blunt slide, keeping her composure. It's interesting to see how everyone uses the Tambori cruise boat. It's supposed to represent the river cruise boats in Osaka that you can take through the city.
I love how they embedded that into the course. So that'll do it for Funa's second run. Certainly much stronger than her first. How much will she climb up, though?
Yeah, it was definitely a really solid run. I mean, I feel like between her and Ibuki, that she might be gunning for that 4th. The heel flip off was very solid.
But as you alluded to
Front
before,
feeble.
partner, with Ibuki, just the slight use of transition makes just the little bit of a difference as opposed to picking up your board every single time. And unfortunately, Funa's score not enough to bounce Ibuki, so she will not be moving on to the final.
Yeah, I mean, Ibuki put the kickflip back lip at the end of her run, which is a lot more challenging than just the front feeble. Both are great tricks, but, you know, Funa just played it a little bit too safe, and that's the tricky thing with this format. You know, do you play it safe, or you just go for a potentially medal level run?
So Momiji had a pretty safe run, a 71. I don't think she anticipated being in 7th on her second and final run, but there she is. We know what she's capable of, as she's won this event before. What can she do?
She was the only woman last year to be nominated for Thrasher Magazine's Skater of the Year. You know, she was really focused on filming a video part last year, and that kind of approach to skateboarding, it's very different than competition skating. You know, you're focused on one trick at a time, one spot at a time, and, you know, in a competition, all of your tricks have to be really, really consistent everywhere, which kind of doesn't leave a ton of room for new tricks and for progression.
I do remember, unfortunately, this is a run Momiji would like to forget, as she unfortunately will not be moving on to the final, but I remember her coming to X Games Minneapolis in 2019 as an 11-year-old rookie. And that was really, you saw the talent right there, but that was also a time and an era that was ushered in by so many of these Japanese skateboarders that you're seeing here now. Momiji was really one of those who ushered that in 6+ years ago.
Right, and then she won the first ever Olympics street event in Tokyo. And, you know, check out her Adidas part, which is called Momiji.
Yes.
That's truly a reflection of her skateboarding, not her last performance.
Paige Hine sitting in 6th place, trying to best that 75.33, and she struggles right out the gate like Momiji, Amelia.
Well, that's the thing. When the other runs in the top 4 are so strong, you have to change your strategy. You kind of have to put together a finals run or a potential podium run. And that's what you saw Paige doing. You know, she took her ender from her last run, the switch front board. She tried to start a run with it so that she can improve towards the end. But, you know, unfortunately, this will not be improving her score.
Yeah, that need to constantly reinvent on the fly. We see it in the men's side as well when it comes to street. So many talented skateboarders come into a playoff or an elimination type format here at X Games, and they don't move on, and we're left befuddled going, how on earth did such and such not make it onto the final? And you recognize when the stakes are this high and the margins are razor thin, you cannot afford to play it safe. And Paige Hine will not improve her score, and she will not be moving on to the final. Ibuki still clinging to that 4th and final spot. Can Yumeka Oda potentially bump her? She's sitting in 8th place.
I mean, she has the tricks. And there's one of them, the kickflip front board, starting off really strong. And now it's just going to be about, oh yes, getting the over crook on the rail. Now it's just going to be about staying on her run and ending really strong. Kickflipping off the boat, catching it really well. Moving on to the main stair set. What will she use as her ender?
Laser focused.
The crooked grind. A solid run.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's gonna challenge Ibuki. It might have been a little too safe towards the end. I mean, she started really strong, but.
Yeah, you have to wonder that, Amelia, especially with that ender. If she just knew, hey, I've got to hang on here, and I have a better than average chance to move on if I stay on my board.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like sometimes when you've done something that you're really proud of at the top end of your run, you're just going to feel great about finishing the run. But, I mean, if she would have ended it with something a little bit more technical, it would have given her a much better chance. But let's see what the judges think.
Would need that 77.01 or better to bump out Ibuki and get into the top 4.
No, and see, I feel like we're seeing this because this is the first time this format is in place in any event. You know, in other events, if you have 2 runs, sometimes you still have a best trick section where you can boost your score. But, you know, especially with the cut being so tight to only 4, you can't do a safety run.
So here's Coco. She is guaranteed a spot. In fact, our final 3 skaters to drop, Coco, Miyu, and Chloe, are already in the top 4, which means Ibuki will move on to the final.
Well, I wonder what they've saved for the finals because, you know, it's such a different approach here. Are we going to see a repetition of their same runs, or have they, you know, stored some upgrades?
Well, remember, it's a 4-woman final, which means 3 will be getting medals. Only 1 from that group of 4 will not make it to the podium.
Bittersweet. Oh, what? Okay, so now we know what Coco's saving for the finals.
Sheesh.
The big spin front board shove. She did do that at the World Skate event last week. And, you know, clearly this rail's so much steeper. So she's got to catch the shove out, you know, in a way that won't throw her just directly into the ground, as you just saw.
just looks in cruise control when she's on that course. Really, really aligns with her style of skating. So Coco will stay in second place. She moves on to the final. Then there were two. Miyu Ito, owner of 3 X Games medals in just 2 X Games appearances. She'll be returning to the final, currently sitting in third. Now it's really about positioning for the final.
She did win the Red Bull pool drop in Munich last summer. So she's got the potential to beat the rest of this field. But I think it's going to be really tough to contend with Chloe. And if, you know, what we're seeing from Coco is any indication of what she's going to land in the finals, it's going to be a tough battle.
So Miyu figures no need to belabor it. I'm already moving on to the final. Nothing to gain by putting anything else out here. Oh, but you know what? She goes, how many cracks do I get at this handrail? Might as well get some practice in. So this is setting up to be an epic final here at X Games Osaka, as Miyu undoubtedly will hold on to her first run score. Third place is where she will stay. The crowd really starting to come in here at the Kyocera Dome. Everyone's been so wonderful here in Osaka. Our 4th consecutive year of doing X Games here in Japan. But our first time here at the Kyocera Dome. This place is very special. Chloe Cavell. She will be our top-ranked qualifier. She will be our last skateboarder to drop in for the playoff. And with that top score of 90, she will be the last skater to drop in our final. We'll see how she treats this one, knowing there's nothing higher than first place.
You know, she might just want to test out some tricks to, you know, figure out if she wants to put them in the final. Sometimes, different days, tricks work differently, and there we go. You saw the front blunt shove out. That's different than what she did in the qualifiers, or in the playoffs, excuse me. Nice backsmith. Throwing the heel flip.
The tricks have always been there, but I remember when she first hit the X Games stage.
Woo!
Oh, can she?
No,
Yeah.
come on.
No.
Come on, that was
No one
too
else.
good.
No one else is doing that. You know, it was always the tech wizardry was there, but you're just so small. And you've seen the growth physically in her. I mean, she's much taller than even a year ago.
She's always had really great style, though. She's submitted some video parts to Exposure's video contest when she was 10. And even then, she was skating in the streets with just impeccable style. It's not fair. She didn't even have little kid style when she was a little kid. It was just great to begin. I mean, look at that. She did not tap her tail at all, even
That's steezy.
though she was, you know, kind of struggling for speed there, or so it looked.
Get the footy. Chloe Cavell holds on to first place. And our finals group is officially set here at Women's Skateboard Street in X Games Osaka. Headlined by that 15-year-old. So there you see the top 4 advancing to our final. Chloe Cavell, our top-ranked qualifier, and Ibuki Matsumoto jumping up into that 4th spot on the very first run, the very first run of the second runs here in the playoffs. And she couldn't breathe for about half of this contest, but she holds on and will be moving on to the final, Amelia.
I am so excited to see Ibuki in the finals. It's gonna be really interesting to see what people have saved with only 2 runs in the finals as well.
You know, we talked about it off the top, Chloe versus Japan. And it is playing out that way, moving on into the final. Chloe Covell in search of her third career X Games gold medal. Welcome to X Games Osaka 2025. It's now time for the Women's Skateboard Street Final. We cut down our playoffs roster of 8 skateboarders to just our final 4, headlined by our top-ranked qualifier, Chloe Covell. So excited to see this one. Chloe versus Japan, Amelia, here in our final 4.
I mean, each one of these skaters has the potential to take home the gold. And there is no room to play it safe because they're only going to have 2 runs.
So the fans making their way in here at the Kyocera Dome, ready to witness history. A look at our start list: Ibuki Matsumoto, Miyu Ito, Koko Yoshizawa, and Chloe Covell. Every young lady in this field, with the exception of Coco, has an X Games medal. Does that change right here, right now, in the finals? And one thing is for sure, after watching that amazing playoff, is all of these skaters seem supremely comfortable and confident on this course here in Osaka.
That's right, they all carry this very relaxed style through the course. Especially Ibuki. Nice frontside nose grind on the sign. Kickflip front board, looking too easy. That is not an easy trick. And the blunt fakie on the quarter pipe, the way that she pops out of that with authority is really something to appreciate.
13 years old, 4 months. A gold medal here would make her the youngest ever gold medalist in the history of the discipline.
Kickflip up, back 180 off, now setting up for her ender on the handrail. Kickflip back lip.
Boom.
So solid. So that's, you know, that's pretty much a replica of her playoffs run, which puts her in a really great spot because it was a great scoring run. It ended with a hammer. And now, you know, she can see how the rest of the field skates and can decide where she wants to fit in some upgrades.
Yeah, I love that strategy from the youngest skateboarder in the field. By the way, the length of that, 36 feet. Just keep that in mind of that boat roof feature when you watch these skaters attack that obstacle.
So if all of these finalists laid down on that roof, there would still be some room left.
Yeah. Yeah, that math seems to be mathing. So here's Miyu Ito. Podium perfect last year, a gold and a silver. This now her 3rd X Games appearance.
Starting with a front feeble on the handrail, olling up onto the roof. Kickflip off, so well caught, might I add. Ooh, and a front blunt throwing that in, that's new. Back Smith. And a back blunt. So a lot of these skaters actually came through the Flake Cup, which is a really rad mini ramp competition series in Japan. And every single skater in it just does the most technical lip tricks. So this whole crew is no stranger to that. And then ending with a back lip, you know, kind of a safe ending, but I love the add-ons she threw in onto the quarter pipes. She also gave us her signature hard flip, and you know, that also puts her in a good spot. Just get a solid run under your feet and go into the next one with confidence.
Her gold medal last summer at Ventura, along with Liz Akama earning silver and Yumeka Oda bronze, was the first Japanese podium sweep in women's skateboard street discipline. So that shows you the prowess of the Japanese talent in this event. An 81 for Miyu, putting her up into first place. A really strong first score. Of course, we saw Chloe put down a 90 on her first run in the playoffs. Koko Yoshizawa, 15 years old, just
Olympic
missing the podium
gold
last
medalist.
summer. That's right. A gold medal at the 2024 Paris Olympics when she was just 14 years old. Of course, just missing the podium last year at X Games.
Starting super strong with the kickflip front board down the handrail. Nice frontside blunt slide across the water. Throwing in a back tail as well, just kind of cruising through the course. You know, use of course is something that the judges really take into account. And then the gapping into back Smith out of the boat, that's definitely a rad one. Oh! Going for the big spin front board shove. That is a short and steep rail.
Yeah.
I
She was
mean,
right there, Amelia.
you're already going to land halfway down from the big spin, and then to just have a millisecond to throw that front shove out. That is, you know, that is an incredible trick to try to throw on that rail. I mean, look, the kickflip front board, she already lands halfway down the rail. So imagine landing on that rail and then needing to have your feet in the perfect place to throw a shove it out. And with it being so steep, it's hard to not just be tossed into the ground. But I want to see her do that in her next run, because that might be gold medal potential.
Yeah, so even with that, a 73.66. Putting her into third place. Here now, Chloe Cavell. What does she do as the heavy odds-on favorite to earn another gold medal in this event? How does she approach run number one here in the final?
Nice crooked grind on the sign. A front blunt right there, not opting for the shove out. Maybe this is the safety version of the run. Nice backside Smith grind. Throwing in a heel flip. Oh my gosh. No way.
Ain't no way.
3 for 3. Okay, I figured it out, Brando. She is a playable character in Tony Hawk Pro Skater's reissue coming out next month. And maybe that's what we're seeing here. Maybe this is a video game.
That's it. That's it. It's a simulation. We're on Xbox somewhere. Ain't no way she just keeps doing that.
And then ending it with a gap out to front feeble. Wow, Chloe. I mean, to throw a manual and then flip into the manual on top of a roof in a
36
competition.
feet. 36 feet long.
Yeah, and hold it for 36 feet without dragging your tail or dragging your little toe or anything like that. That is so impressive. Look at this, just perfect,
The tech,
balanced.
the pop, the steez, the confidence that this 15-year-old exudes is just on another level. Club 90 once again. Chloe Cavell picking up where she left off in the playoffs. She is in first place. And Amelia, it's not over till it's over, but my goodness, do these three other skateboarders have their work cut out for them on second and final runs here in the final.
Yeah, that'll be tough to beat. And then because Chloe qualified first, she will have the final say with another run.
Yeah, she'll have to find out if it's going to be a come from behind, last minute dramatic run or a victory lap. So Ibuki Matsumoto in a position to earn her first career X Games medal. She's sitting in that bronze medal spot. So can the 13-year-old up her score and give herself a little more breathing room and maybe even knock on silver medal score?
Similar start to her run. Very beautifully done though with the kickflip front board and then the blunt fakie. Nice little cruise through the boat there. Half cab in, 180 out. Oh, there was the upgrade. Going for the backside flip off of the roof of the boat and just not turning it all the way. You know, sometimes when there's fresh concrete, it can be very sticky. And a backside flip is one of those tricks that sometimes you can kind of pivot around the rest of it. But yeah, when the concrete's that fresh, dragging it around ain't easy. Still getting the kickflip backflip though. I love that.
There
Why
she
not?
is. I love it. She could have very easily skated away after that fall.
Yeah, sometimes when you slam, it's actually really important to, you know, land something so that you're not left scared or doubting yourself. So she's feeling good.
So she won't improve upon that score. But can she potentially earn an X Games bronze medal here today? So Miyu Ito, she's guaranteed an X Games medal. She doesn't know the color yet, but she's comfortably in that silver medal spot. And it was a very solid first run, Amelia. How does she upgrade here and put some pressure on Chloe?
I hope she keeps the front blunt. Let's see. Yes, I love that. No upgrades as of yet, but tossing in a beautiful backsmith. Keeping the back blunt as well. Oh, there we go. Tray flip. We did not see that in her last run. And then let's see if she has an upgrade for her final trick here. Sticking with the back lip. Oh,
Oof.
and trying to throw the hard flip at the end there. I'm a little surprised that we didn't see the hard flip down the main stair set, but perhaps she's saving it.
Agreed.
For best trick.
So yeah, this plays to the incremental improvements, giving her maybe a possible better score than that 81. Obviously not touching the 90. Does not improve though. So
No,
she
I
stays in
think-
that silver medal spot.
Yeah, maybe they counted the hard flip as a fall
As a
because
fall,
it was
yeah.
sort of after time, but sort
Yeah.
of in time, you know? It doesn't help when you fall, even if it's right after time, because the judges, they still see it.
So the last skateboarder that can potentially crash this podium and make things very interesting, Koko Yoshizawa, 15 years old, just missed the podium as a rookie at X Games Chiba last summer.
Wow, getting that kickflip front board, landing bolts every single try. I mean, she could, from now, play it safe and potentially just get a spot on the podium, or if she goes for the big spin front board shove at the end, she's just going for gold. And I have a feeling it'll be the latter.
So Matsumoto holding on to that bronze medal spot with the 77. That's what Koko would have to best to get into podium position last 10 seconds.
Oh,
She wanted it, Amelia.
she did. She wanted it. She wanted that gold medal to add to her collection alongside with her Paris Olympics medal. But, you know, that's such a tough trick. on such a short and steep rail.
But I love it. Get rich or die trying. I
That's
love that play from her. It doesn't work out for Coco, which means Chloe Covell will officially earn her 3rd career X Games gold medal. This will be a victory lap.
I wonder if she is going to give us something new for this victory lap or just enjoy every moment. I mean, she's been on a tear. This is her 3rd win in a row. She won Street League Santa Monica. She won the World Skate Rome event. And you can see here, she is beaming about this win.
And there's just something about a skateboarder, particularly in the street discipline, Amelia, when they're feeling themselves and they start rattling off wins, not unlike Nyjah Huston on the men's side once upon a time. It's like they win the contest before the contest even begins. And it feels like Chloe's in that place right now.
Absolutely, and you can see she is improving on her last run as well. And
Four
what?
for
4 for 4? Come on, that's not even fair.
It's not fair. And I'm going to write a strongly worded email, and I don't know who I'm going to address it to. But
It's just so impressive.
That's level impossible from the 15-year-old Chloe Covell. First time she's stepped off her board all day. And with this street gold, she will officially tie Aori Nishimura, Alexis Sablone, and Marissa Del Santo with a 3rd gold medal in this discipline.
That is so impressive. I'm still thinking about that kickflip manual. I'm going to be thinking about that kickflip manual for a long time. I mean, it's like she took all her little Tony Hawk Pro Skater experience points and just put them into her manual balance.
You know, once you made that connection, which I had forgotten about, it made all the sense in the world. Oh yeah, she's on Tony Hawk Pro Skater mode.
Yeah, there's no other explanation. It's not real life.
THPS. A walk in the park for Chloe Covell. And it literally was this manual that just had our jaws dropped all day long here at X Games Osaka. But everything else was just so prime.
Yeah, she threw in the front blunt shove, which was an improvement from her last run. So she was going for an even better run and tried to fit in the kickflip backsmith.
So Chloe Covell continues to climb up the record books with her 3rd career women's skateboard street gold.